business and earn unlimited income from anywhere in the world. Am I a superhero? Nah, but do I possess superpowers? Oh yeah, to literally create income out of thin air with nothing but a laptop and a cell phone and a half-decent Wi-Fi connection. Most people who start listening to this podcast don't hit pause until they either fire their boss or reclaim their God-given right to wake up whenever the hell they want to. So what are you waiting for? Let's get to work. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Dave Sharp. Welcome to the Legendary Marketer Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, somebody who I think you're going to get a lot of value from. Kylo, what's up, my brother?
Hey, what's up, Dave? How's it going?
It's excellent, man. It's excellent. So Kai is a digital marketer, and he's going to talk about a story today. And I think it's going to be interesting for you guys because he's got an interesting story. Kai, you're a Philly boy, aren't you?
Yep, Philly boy, born in Hong Kong, raised in Philly.
Nice, man. Nice. So on the Legendary Marketer Podcast, it's all about, giving people a perspective of an alternative route other than just following the system, being a good little boy or girl, getting your good grades, going to college, working 40 hours a week for 40 years and hoping you have enough at the end to live out your, quote, golden years with whatever money you earned. And studies show that most of our retirees, a large portion of them, have $3,000 to $12,000 in their bank account when they retire. So it's a problem. The system isn't working. And so now, man, the internet, it's here, dude, and it's here to stay. And you have taken advantage of that. So I know you got a killer story. I want to hear a little bit about what led you up to becoming a digital marketer. What did your life look like before you started doing this?
Well, long story short, my name's Kylo. I am 32 years old. Not a lot of people believe that, until I showed them my driver's license. Born in Hong Kong, raised in Philly. When I was, younger, during my high school days, I started hanging out with the wrong crowd, with the wrong people, and
which I can't relate to at all. You know a little bit about my story as well. I can't relate to that at all.
I can't relate to that at all. Yeah, so now that you look at me, you're like, well, how can this guy be hanging out with the wrong people? But anyways, back in the days, hanging out with the wrong people, started getting involved in drug dealing at the age of 17, from high school going into college. So freshman year, started escalating from selling weed to ecstasy, and then ultimately it led to cocaine. And that's when I got caught by, once you're in there for so long, you trust certain people, you guys become best friends. Even though I felt something was wrong that day it was Thanksgiving Eve of 2014. One of my friends that I trust told me to go to this one really suspicious area, but I was like, I was greedy at the time, young. I wanted the money, the girls, the fast cars. I went along with it and just.
I'm sniffing a setup here.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew that was happening, but I was like, this is my best friend. Nothing's gonna happen. It's just gonna be a great time, make a lot of money. Boom! I got caught in a setup for 2 ounces of cocaine. Right, and I was set up by one of my friends.
Right there. That's a real time too. That's not a joke. They don't play around with that sort of quantity.
Yeah, they don't mess with that quantity. So long story short, I spent 2 years. Luckily, it was in a county jail. It wasn't like upstate prison. It wasn't like the stuff you see in the movies. So it was still a life lesson learned. It was an experience. I took it as a great learning experience instead of sitting there blaming everybody, blaming the police, right, blaming my friends. Right? I took it as a life lesson learned. So during that time when I was in jail, spent a lot of time reading personal development books. I don't remember the titles of the books, but they had a bunch of them in there. Right? Try to hopefully that you can change your life, right, for the better. So I read a lot of those books, and it did help. It helped me dream bigger. It helped me see the possibility of what can I do when I get out of jail with a felony record. I have a felony record. I still have it. It's very hard to get that expunged,
right,
even though it's been over 10 years. Yeah, when I was 19 to 21, it was 2005 to 2007. So when I got out, I started looking for jobs. All my friends and family, they were like, "Oh, don't worry, you're gonna have a second chance. Go to college, get good grades, and get your bachelor degree. You can get a very good job. People will ignore your past, right?
It's
And focus
amazing
on the
how
present."
it's amazing how deep rooted that message is to just go to college, just get a good grade on your SAT. I mean, here you are with obvious obstacles, right? You've now got a felony record, and your family, who has your best intentions in mind, there's no doubt about that. They're still telling you follow the cookie cutter blueprint. That's just to me, that's amazing at how deep rooted that message is. It's called cultural hypnosis, and it's just so deep rooted, that message to just do this thing. This is the blueprint for everybody. And obviously, you and I both know that getting a job with a felony is not easy. It's nearly impossible, which is what you experienced, right?
Yeah, it was not only was it hard, like I was holding a job dishwashing at Salad I don't know if Salad is like a nationwide thing,
I
but
don't think so. Must just be a
sell
Philly
salads
thing.
there.
Must just be a Philly thing.
Yeah, they sell salads. Dishwashing there while going to community college in Philadelphia. Um, the big problem was that I couldn't even get an internship and I couldn't even do community service, which was required for one of the credits to move up, to sophomore year
You
and then
can't
junior,
even work
senior.
for free.
Can't work free. They said no, because of the background.
Yeah, yeah.
It's everything to do with the background check.
So here you are, 20 years old, right? Just made some bad decisions. We've all made bad decisions. And here you are at you're 20. You've got felony record. You can't even work for freaking free.
Yes.
What do you do next?
So I started, venturing online. I always knew that people were making money online, but I just didn't know how. I didn't have a background in marketing. I didn't have any, technical knowledge. Just regular kids going to school, just trying to finish college and hopefully get some job or career for the next, 30, 40 years. And that was the plan. So with no experience, I started going on Facebook, started going on YouTube, going on Google, typing in make money online. I was one of those people. I was a complete newbie, just looking for ways to make money online, and everybody says
we call that wet behind the ears. Wet behind the ears. So new, so green, you were wet behind the ears.
Yeah, so that's how I started venturing into online marketing because I knew there was ways to make money online, and that I didn't have to tell people that yes, I have a felony. There was like no background check. You can be anybody online. You can literally be anybody. You can say I'm a doctor, or but I wasn't lying to people. But I just knew there was a way to make money.
You didn't have to go. You didn't have to fill out an application for every customer that you generated.
Yep. No application. No background checks. So I felt comfortable. I was like in my bubble, hiding behind a computer, just learning how to make money online. And I'm an introvert, right. So even coming on to something like this as a guest speaker, podcast, or sometimes I'm speaking on stage, I have a hard time articulating. I haven't I lose my train of thought,
right?
Because I'm always like, as an introvert, you're always worried about what people think, and you're shy. And trying to overcome that.
Right.
And I'm trying to tell everybody that's watching this is that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be like this Tony Robbins, type of person coming online, doing videos, doing like amazing videos of, all this skills and editing. No, you can just have a smartphone, do selfie videos, and type out your thoughts on Facebook, share your story, and just a lot of videos that I watch online, a lot of people that I learn from, they all say the same thing. They said, stop worrying about what people think and just express your thoughts and feelings. And the more you do that, the more you attract people to you, and they will say, I don't know who this person is, but I like to get to know this person,
Right.
right? It's this instant attraction, and then you're building this friendship with people that you've never met in person,
Right. Right.
right? I built this friendship with Dave through Facebook, through online, and then we finally met, in March this year in person.
Which and I want to tell people because it's important for them to know that you're on the show because you have made inside of Legendary Marketer $44,000, right? And in Legendary Marketer, we have a curriculum where we teach people how to build a digital marketing business online, and a lot of people take our information and go and do that. And we also have an affiliate program where people license our products and they don't have to do the videos, they don't have to do the ads, they don't have to do the emails and the sales funnels and get in front of the camera and all that kind of stuff. And so Kai came in, and because of his commitment and consistency with social media, came in and did $44,000 in commissions earnings through Legendary Marketer in just a few months. And back in March, you actually did come and speak on the Legendary Marketer stage, and that was cool. And you're coming up to an event here pretty soon, and we're definitely gonna be picking your brain and having you up there as well at some point in this upcoming event that we're doing. So it's important for people to understand that he's done significant. He's created significant results here over the course of the last a few months, and it's impressive, man. And what you've it's cool. How's that feel, man? Like, how's that feel to know that there was a possibility that you were going to have a meaningless and mediocre future, and you've created this life for yourself that you at least this ability to create income and have the freedom to make it wherever you want, work from home, and be an entrepreneur. Like, how does that really feel?
No, I mean it's unbelievable, especially if you're surrounded by negativity. Your friends and family will say, stop doing that internet thing. Just focus on a career, right? Move up the corporate ladder. Eventually, you'll make the mid five-figure, six-figure income someday. And I didn't see the possibility in the corporate space, being in the situation that I was in. So it was the unthinkable, just I had a lot of self-doubt too.
Right.
From time to time, I was just thinking, is this really for me? Does this internet stuff work? Right? Especially if everybody's telling you stop doing it around you. Right. It's tough. It's really tough.
Right. Yeah, no, I honor and appreciate your vulnerability. I think it's powerful. I think not enough people embrace the idea of being vulnerable and being authentic. I think for some reason society, and it's just again more messaging, right, that has told us just put on a facade, just try to act like everything's okay, act like you've got it, act like you have no problems, and that really creates disconnection in people, and we don't even realize that. Right? Because over here we're trying to, look good because we think that's what people want, but really people appreciate and respect and connect and relate with just our real selves and our real lives and our real struggles. So I appreciate that about you. What can I do, man, to help you? I see you. I think you have so much potential. You've already taken enough action to create the results that you have right now. If there was anything that I could do, answer, give you perspective with to further your business and be more successful, how can I help? How can I use this time right now to help you to be more impactful and be more successful?
Sure, Dave. I think it would be the focus on like storytelling, video marketing, right? Getting out of that comfort zone. And I think a lot of people, not just myself, we're always afraid, or we don't know what to say, or we don't know how to structure what to say in the video, and tips like that. Even for the upcoming event, I think things like that will take it not just for me, but for people that are watching, people that are in Legendary Marketer, to the next level.
Yeah. So it's been interesting over the past I don't know, 7 or 8 years, how I've learned to sell. At first, I didn't go and I didn't take any selling classes or courses or have anybody kind of show me or teach me how to sell. I learned that if I could tell a powerful story that made a point and then I could make an offer at the end of that story, it just worked, right? Because instead of just and coming out and throwing, facts and figures and data and stuff that people didn't really care about or were bored with, if I could entertain them and engage them with a story like what you told today, that's pretty entertaining. Everybody loves a good story, and so what I did was similar to what you just did on this podcast. Was I started to tell my story, which was a story of struggle and homelessness, and then how I overcame it. And then at the end of that story, I would say, I would make an offer. And I started out with, I started out in network marketing and some other affiliate marketing. And so I was marketing to people who were also looking to change their lives or, find some alternative way to earn income. And so I would tell that story and then I would position that offer on the back end of that story. And it wasn't always pretty. And it still's not always pretty. But that was, I think the biggest thing is not telling the story that people struggle with. I think it's making the offer, right? And I didn't know how to transition from that story to making that offer. And then what I started doing was making it very simple. It was a really simple transition, I would say. And this is where I'm at right now, and it's really cool, and I really am living a life beyond my wildest dreams. And if you would like to do the same thing too, here's what I have for you. And I would just I would frame it just like that. Here's what I have today. Here's what I have to offer. Here's here's what I'd like to tell you about. I would make some sort of a transition statement after I told that story. And then I would transition into the offer. And I always followed, at least in the beginning, this story selling formula, which I actually learned in 12-step programs. Much like you, I was on the opposite side. I had a little hustle going on when I first got when I was a young teenager too. Don't think that I didn't have a little hustle, but eventually I became somebody who became addicted to drugs. I was a heroin addict, and I got clean from that in 2008, like many of you guys know. And I started to go into treatment, and I heard people share their stories. And one of the formulas for telling your story was what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. And I just followed that formula into sharing my story in my business. So I would say what it was like. I would say what was the defining moment that happened that made me want to change that situation, and then what it's like now. So I would follow that formula, and I would say if that sounds like something that you would like, or you would like to experience the same thing, here's what I have for you. And so that was like the formula that I used for so many years, and I still use it to this day, and it works really well. And the reason why it works, I think, Kai, is because, like man, it's real. I just tell a story, and then without trying to make some big, weird, awkward pitch or make some awkward transition, I just make it simple and I try to make it as smooth as possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do you mind if I ask like another question?
Please.
What about people that don't have a dark past, right? No drug addiction, no homelessness, never been to jail. Do they still have a story to tell people to sell the offer?
Yeah, man. I have had that question a million times, and from people who don't. So this is perfect that you asked that, because I've been big on storytelling over the years, and it's mainly because a lot of people view me as a digital marketer, but really what I am, same thing as you, I'm a storyteller, right? The best marketer, the best salespeople in the world are great storytellers. Now, the interesting thing about being a great storyteller is I don't need to be a great storyteller, particularly telling my own story, right? I can be a great storyteller with any story. I learned to see every situation in life as a story that can be told, and it becomes fun when I start to see life like that, like any situation. Where's the story? And it's kind of like a journalist. Now, what about somebody's actual life story? They think they don't have a story, but somewhere in there is some sort of a struggle or a challenge. And I think that most people just have to stop what I call having comparisonitis, right? It's like you talked about, right, dude? Going around and comparing yourself to everybody else. It's you totally empower yourself when you just embrace your own story in yourself in your life and realize that it's interesting, man. That it's interesting. There's something in there that people want to listen to, and the problem is not that they don't want to listen to it; it's that you just haven't found the courage to tell it, right? So, I mean, that's and then it's just about going out there and telling it, man. But I really truly think that everybody's got a story, and if you don't think you got a story, then just learn to look at life like a damn journalist and try to find the story in everything. That's at least what I tell people. What do you tell people, man, when people ask you that question?
Um, I try to say like something similar in that everybody has an obstacle one way or another, and they can talk about that and how they're planning to overcome it or how they have overcame it. Doesn't have to be like, oh, I was living in the streets and now here I am making money online. But there's there's different days, and there's always a story, or at least like you said, that somebody that they know or something that they saw happen, and they can tell a story about that, and then it can all tie into looking at what I'm doing right now.
Right.
What is it that I'm doing right now? Check out this link, or check out this website.
Right.
And the good thing about affiliate marketing, digital marketing, marketing someone else's offer, is that I don't need to learn how to make videos and
Right.
video sales letter. That's like one of the most important things to online marketing. I'm not good at that. That's why I'm just saying my story or just telling something and then saying, here is the link. Right? Take a look at it.
Right.
And that's it. You're just sending traffic to a proven system, right? Great video sales letter. You have great coaches, great phone support, customer support. Just being able to live that internet lifestyle. It's no longer work from home anymore. Nowadays, most of us work online through our smartphone.
Right.
So I do a lot of traveling. I'm able to travel. I don't buy stuff.
Work from home is so 1990s, isn't it?
Yeah, work from home, sitting at the laptop. No, I'm working from my phone,
Right.
and I'm able to travel. I don't spend. And you can hear the same thing, like you said, from time to time, is that don't make your money online to buy the Ferrari, to buy the mansions, right? Just embrace time freedom. Being able to make money online to wake up whenever you want and do whatever you want. So for me, I don't want the Ferraris, the mansion. I just want to experience time freedom,
Right.
especially the time that I've lost spending 2 years in jail.
Right. Right.
Once you've done time like that, you will really embrace, right? Really appreciate freedom.
Right.
Really just want to wake up in your own bed, right? You can make whatever food you want. You don't have to eat these
ramen noodles
and bread.
Hey, so that brings up an interesting point, which is that a lot of people think that, oh, I've never been to jail, but they've been living a self-made prison inside of a job that they hate for 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's like, I think that the majority of us spend a lot of time trying to look at the differences instead of the similarities of our lives. And we try to disqualify ourselves by saying, oh, I'm not like him. It's like when I started online, I would tell my story, which is just my life. It's not even my story, it's just my life, right? My life story, which was, that I was homeless and had a drug addiction and then got clean and worked construction and hated it and wanted to do something different. And I didn't particularly want to be a digital marketer. But people said, what if I don't have a story like that? Now, if I would have been a Harvard graduate or something, right, they would have said, well, I'm not a Harvard graduate. It's always looking at the differences, man. It's another social messaging hypnosis that we've all been indoctrinated into that just makes us focus on the differences. It's like I could look at you and say, "Well, I'm not Asian, from born in Hong Kong, from Philly. That sold cocaine and did 2 years in prison." I used to in treatment and then in like 12-step programs and stuff. People would say, "Well, you haven't been to prison 5 times yet," and it's like, but it's like, for God's sakes, do I have to go to prison 5 times to learn, to not go out and get high anymore? I think that for us and for anybody who wants to achieve something in their life, if you want to be a digital marketer, it's really important to look at just the similarities, and that's one of the biggest things that I think I've learned over the years personally, is that we all have a lot of things in common, man. More than we realize. It has nothing to do with our skin color. All this racism and all this kind of, it's the most ignorant, dumb thing in the world to me, because it's like right under the surface, we're all fearful. We're all little kids inside. We're all afraid to be judged. We're all afraid that we're not going to be liked like we were in school. We're going to be picked last on the playground. We all have that inside of us. And if we can just, it's like, that's the thing that holds us back. If we can just every day, it's about creating positive self-talk. Positive self-talk. I'm enough. I can do this. I'm worth this. That's been huge in my life, because I think you can relate to this, right, Kai? It's like we come from where we come from. It's like there was a lot of mental changes that needed to happen to talk ourselves into the fact that we could succeed. Because I also have, some felonies on my record. I don't have, I wasn't pushing coke, but I've got I tried to use the wrong license at one time, and I got, the cops came after me, and I was 18 and hit the gas instead of the brake. That was a mistake. But I mean, again, it's like that stuff haunts us, and we have to have some sort of positive self-talk. So I want to end with that. Your mental toughness, which I'm sure fluctuates from day to day. It does with all of us, man. Some days I feel stronger than others. What have you done mentally to keep yourself going, and to build your self-esteem and your self-worth? Because you are your own boss, dude. There's nobody that's giving you a pat on the back, that's saying, "Hey, good job, Kai. You gotta be that motivation. You gotta be the gas in your gas tank." So how have you conditioned yourself and prepared yourself for digital marketing to be an entrepreneur, over the years?
I think the most important thing was really, even though I live in Philadelphia, the media portrays Philadelphia as a very bad city. A lot of people are dying every day. It's not that bad. It's just that I was around the wrong people, right, at that time in high school. So I think the most important thing was changing the people, the network that you're around. So stop hanging out with the drug dealers. Stop hanging out around those. And on Facebook, on social media, I was able to make friends with people that are into entrepreneurship or something similar. They could be in real estate, or maybe they're selling insurance. Whatever they're doing, they're hustling something. And I wanted to be around them. And I was able to read, on my newsfeed on Facebook, I always see like positive, motivational posts. Maybe they've done a motivational video, and sometimes like on YouTube, I would watch people like Gary Vaynerchuk, Grant Cardone, and even some of your videos that you have your YouTube channel that are very inspirational, motivational. So I'm always surrounding myself with positivity, right? And then try to block out negativity, try to limit my time. Even though I still have best friends that I hang out with since grade school,
Right.
I limit my association with them.
Right.
They're still my best friends. I still go to the weddings, baby showers, and all that. But I limit my time with them, and then I spend more time with people that will help me grow, not just in business, but like personal growth, like learning how to improve on my marketing. I'm always looking for ways to improve. So I'm always in a learning environment. I'm always around people that are pushing themselves. That motivates me to push myself, and that helps me go through day to day. even though there are some days where I feel like, man, nothing's working. I'm not getting any traffic. I'm not getting any leads. Right. So I'm just consistently improving myself and also improving my network. These are the things that you can control. You can't control, right, the shootings in the streets or right, whatever external factors. You have no control, but you have control over what you put into your mind and then the people that you surround yourself with. I think those are very important factors to start having success in anything.
Yeah.
And
So I'm gonna end it on that. That was powerful, and I think simple and clear. Your network is your net worth, man, and what you put in is gonna come out. And the old saying of the five people we hang around most determines who we become is true. And that's some of these cliches that have been around for decades and decades. They've been around because they're true, and sometimes I think we overlook them because they're so simple, but they're true. And so I'm glad to have you in my network, brother. Congratulations on your success. To much, much more, dude. Thank you for joining us on the Legendary Marketer podcast. It's been great hanging out with you, my brother. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
all right, talk soon. Thanks for having me here,
All
Dave.
right. See you, Kai.
See you.